The young man just gave up his seat on the bus to a 50-year-old pregnant woman. The woman suddenly called him husband with a beaming smile, saying she was pregnant with their child. The young man thought the woman was out of her mind. At first, he didn't pay much attention. However, a few days later, the woman gave birth to a pair of twin boys. The paternity test results also showed that the young man was indeed the father of these two children. The woman went to the company's rooftop holding the children, causing a scene, forcing the young man to marry her. This spectacle led to the young man breaking up with his girlfriend. His colleagues also called him a scumbag. During the scuffle, the young man accidentally fell from the building and died. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself reincarnated to the day he first met the woman on the bus. Before he could process what happened, the woman appeared in front of him again. Startled, he quickly turned his head, not daring to look at her for long. When the woman asked him to give up his seat, he pretended to be asleep and ignored her. The passengers behind him woke him up, and others criticized him for lacking public virtue, demanding that he give up his seat to the pregnant woman. The young man looked around, noticing there were plenty of empty seats on the bus. He falsely claimed that he had a headache and couldn't stand up, suggesting the woman sit in one of the other empty seats. Before the woman could speak, the passengers began accusing him of being rude. The young man retorted, "If you're so well-mannered, why don't you give up your seat for the pregnant woman? I'm not sitting in the priority seat. I'm under no obligation to give up my seat." Seeing this, the woman asked him to help her to a seat in the back. The young man grew cautious, not understanding why she was specifically asking him for help, suspecting it might be a trap. Suddenly, the bus braked hard, and the woman lunged toward the young man. In the nick of time, the young man raised his backpack to shield himself. When the passengers behind him tried to help the woman, she waved them off. The young man thought to himself that if touching could create a connection, then the woman had plenty of chances to touch him first. He suspected the woman's real goal was his seat. The woman asked again for him to help her to the back. The young man refused to leave his seat. Even as others cursed him, he still wouldn't get up. At this point, a passenger couldn't stand it anymore. Rushing over to pull the young man up, the woman quickly squeezed to the side of the seat. Just as she was about to sit down, the young man suddenly vomited his breakfast on the seat. Now no one wanted to sit there, and the woman was forced to sit in another empty seat. The young man thought he was safe now, but when he turned around, he found the woman staring at him ominously. Frightened, he quickly got off the bus. The woman leaned out of the window to look at him. He suddenly remembered in his past life, the woman had visited his company and touched his personal belongings. In a panic, he rushed back to the company to eliminate any danger, giving all of his personal items to the cleaners. His friend asked if he was planning to quit his job. Just as he was about to say yes, he saw the manager approaching with that woman. Terrified, he quickly turned away. The manager stopped him and called him over. He hurriedly told the manager he was resigning, but the manager said the company was preparing to promote him and give him a raise. His friend also advised him to calm down and not act impulsively. The young man remained resolute about resigning. The manager didn't stop him, telling him to go home and enjoy life with his wife. The woman clung to the young man's hand, shouting husband. His colleagues were shocked. The young man yelled that he didn't know the woman. The colleagues then realized the young man had a beautiful young girlfriend, and they were almost getting married. There was no way he would cheat with a woman 20 years older than him. His friends suddenly figured out the reason, suspecting the young man had slept with the woman after getting drunk. After the woman got pregnant, he refused to take responsibility. Just as the young man was about to explain, the woman said she was carrying twins. The colleagues started accusing him of abandoning his wife and children. The young man desperately defended himself, but no one listened. Then he realized something was off with his friend. In his past life, his friend not only envied him for having a beautiful girlfriend, but also continuously supported the woman in this matter. He now understood that they were accomplices. Just as he was about to speak up, the woman suddenly collapsed, clutching her stomach in pain. Everyone saw her and thought she was about to give birth. The young man thought to himself that the woman hadn't touched his seat or come into contact with his personal belongings. There was no way the child could be his. After they sent the woman to the hospital, the doctor asked the family to sign consent forms. His friend dragged the young man over, saying he was the woman's husband. The young man immediately denied it, scolding his friend for speaking nonsense. He refused to sign. Just then, his girlfriend appeared, signing the surgery risk form. The young man rushed to hug his girlfriend, who had returned to him, but she pushed him away and slapped him. She called him a scumbag, saying he had betrayed their relationship earlier, and now he was abandoning his wife and children and wouldn't admit it. The young man tried to explain, but his girlfriend pulled out a photo of him and the woman together. She had received the photo a week ago, and at first, she thought it was a prank. Now it seemed all too real. The young man couldn't explain himself, and everyone looked down on him even more. Then the nurse came out holding the newborn child. The crowd gathered around to look, and they thought the child looked a lot like the young man. The young man still refused to acknowledge the child as his, demanding an immediate paternity test. Seeing how determined he was, his girlfriend began to suspect she had misunderstood him. The woman was pushed out of the operating room, asking if the young man had seen their son. The young man angrily said the child was not his. Once the test results came out, he would sue the woman for defamation. His girlfriend took his hand and apologized, saying she had misunderstood and now believed in him. The nurse brought over the expedited paternity test results, and when the young man saw the results, he was stunned.